position where we've locked the arm up here like this. I can step over the head and I can rotate the shoulder like this, okay? A lot of people do it this way, but this is, doing it like this does require a fair bit of strength. So if Scott's a lot stronger than me, it can be really hard to pull that arm out. There's some ways to use leverage for this, but still, if he's a lot stronger, it's going to be a difficult move. And it also requires a fair bit of speed as well. So you kind of got to like take it up and pull it across, which means I'm sometimes likely to injure more likely to injure your training partner, because sometimes you have to do it fast, which we obviously don't want to do. So I'm going to go through some other options from the Kimura, and I want at the end of this video more thinking of the Kimura as a control, which has a lot of options for submissions, rather than straight out get the Kimura and go for that one. Okay, so the first thing, we're going to focus more on, once we get the Kimura, how do we control them. So if Scott rolls away, this is going to be our easiest way to catch the Kimura. Okay, so just going to do it like that. You're going to roll away and grab the wrist, reach under, and I've got my own wrist here like this. Okay. Now, what's the most likely way Scott's going to free his arm? Yeah, so he goes back flat and he pulls his elbow down. So now I've lost the grip, right? I need to make sure that my Kimura grip the pressure is applied in the right way so that he can't free that arm. So what's going to keep it in place, it's not like how much friction and how tight I can hold it. Here, Scott, it'll hold it for a bit, but Scott will be able to free that elbow. What I want to do is really create like a strong wedge that forces his elbow upwards, like that, okay? So what I have to do then is I'm pulling the wrist back towards me, like this, I'm straightening my arms, and as I straighten my arms, you see that starts to wedge the elbow up, okay? Like this. So now, Scott, roll back to your back. And I can hold him pretty easily, like that. I'm sure you can feel that, Scott. There's a lot of pressure backwards on the wrist. Okay. So I taught this a few times earlier in the week. People were trying to lift the arm up but not putting the wrist pressure. Scott, Fred, you're going to be able to move, okay? So you need to have that counter pressure with the wrist going back like this, and you're flaring this elbow, kind of straightening the arms to keep him from being able to free that arm. Okay, so let's just have a go at that first. Make sure we've got good control. Person's going to roll away. We're going to catch the Kimura grip, and then we're going to apply that pressure. Okay, and then the person's going to try to roll back flat on their back, and they shouldn't be able to if you're applying it right. Okay, let's have a go. 3, 2, 1. Just like. All right. So I got the wrist. I reach under, and sometimes to get even more wedge on that elbow, you can even punch your hand through a little deeper. So it doesn't have to be a grip like this. It can even be like that. Okay, so the further I go through, the more that really wedges Scott's elbow higher. Okay, and the other thing, the way we're gripping, right? So if I grip with my thumb, if Scott straightens his hand, it can slip through. The weakest part of your grip is where there's a gap, right? So if you grip with your thumb, there's a gap where in the direction where he could straighten, and you can sometimes lose that. If you've got huge hands and you can cover that gap, or if they've got a small wrist, that doesn't matter. But if you're like me, small hands, you've got to work around that. So we want to cup more like this, okay? So now, if he straightens, that's going to not work through that angle. There's a gap still, but he would have to be able to pull through his body, which he obviously can't do to free that, okay? Okay, so the first move we will do from here is actually just an armbar. With your regular armbar, what we have to really focus on is staying behind the shoulder and not letting him free their elbow. Okay, so if I want to do it from mount, for example, I have to come here, my hips behind the shoulder, come over the top, and not give him a gap to escape from. Okay, because if I step up like this for an armbar, he's going to free his elbow, we're going to lose it. But when we get this Kimura grip like that, as we just shown, he can't free his elbow. Yeah, his elbow is lifted really high. So when I want to go for the armbar from side control with a Kimura grip, I don't have to worry about him freeing his elbow, and I can be really lazy with how I step over. Okay, so when I'm here, I can basically just step one leg, other leg, free your elbow, Scott. Sit down on the shoulder, and then finish from there. Okay, go again. When we get the Kimura grip, we can be lazy. You get this? Oh, not all the time. Still got to have the right pressure. And it actually doesn't necessarily matter which leg you go with either. Sometimes you'll step with your right leg first and then your left. But if you've got good pressure on the grip, they're not going to be able to roll back to their back. You're gonna sit down on their shoulder, then sit back. Extend the arm. We'll finish with the arm. Let's have a go at that. 3, 2, 1. He can make this armbar much harder to do if he actually instead was trying to keep rolling away from you. Okay, so this is really good at making Scott stop rolling back flat, but he might start turning away. And if I try to chase him with this same grip, I might actually end up losing my position altogether. Okay. Just so you know, like if you started to step over and they start to roll, what I would look to do is step on this hip. Okay. If I can step on this far hip, I can take the arm out and I've got regular Kimura or armbar from there. Okay, so if you're halfway through that move and they start rolling, you keep attacking your armbar. But I'm going to go over more of an idea what we want to use for control. Once we get the Kimura, if I feel like Scott's rolling away and I want to stop him, what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to shoot my left knee behind his head and sit back to try and create a bit of counter pressure. Okay, so as he rolls, I'm going to go here, I'm going to sit back on my right side, my right knee, right hip, like this. And now I'm still applying that same like elbow pressure, right? So Scott, roll flat to your back. You can see that's like preventing that. But I'm also pulling his hand back towards his stomach. So roll away, Scott. Yeah. So he's actually kind of a little bit trapped here. Okay. Turn, roll towards me. Yeah. I can keep him in control. And try and roll away, and he shouldn't actually be able to get to his knees from here if I've got the right pressure. But I have to be seated like this. Okay. If I'm up, he's going to have too much momentum to roll through. Okay. So if you get the Kimura grip and you feel they start to roll away, or you can even just force this anyway. So Scott starts to go, and put my knee behind and sit on that hip, and I'm pulling back towards me like this. Okay. And we're going to go for the back. I'm going to take the back. So what we're going to do, I'm going to swing my left leg across the hip like this, and then I'm going to sit to my left side. So I'm going to go from my right side to my left side like this. Okay, and see, as I do that, I'm trying to pull Scott's body to the other side a little bit. So I keep the Kimura grip, but I kind of like pull him across. Yeah. Now, if Scott's got a reasonably skinny waist, so I can actually just go straight to the body triangle. Sometimes you have to go like a little higher on the body, bring your knee in like that to kind of like help pull them across a bit further, and then you can lock a body triangle. Or if you've got short legs, or if your opponent's got a really wide waist, don't even worry about locking the triangle, just put your foot on the hip, that's fine. Okay, but you still want this one across the body. You let go of your top arm, we go around the neck, and we've got the back here, let's see it up. Okay, once more. Here, Scott starts to roll away, so I get the Kimura grip and shoot my knee behind, and then sit back, pulling back to flare that elbow, but the pulling back with my right hand like this is stopping him from being able to roll away as well. So he's stuck. Swing my left leg over, and I sit to my left hip. Pull in past me a bit, bring my leg in, triangle my legs, right hand comes out, and we've got the back. Now, really important to do this correctly. When we go here and swing the leg over, don't go onto your back, okay? So if I go straight onto my back, like this, yeah, Scott might be able to get up on top. Okay, so we go back. I'm not falling, putting my back on the mat, I'm just literally falling sideways. Okay, see how my back's still off the mat? Lock up the triangle, take the harness, and we've got the back ready to get the choke. Once more fast. We're going to be here. Scott goes to roll away. Lock up the Kimura. Sit down on your hip. Make sure you stay on your hip when you swing the leg over. Pull to the side. Lock up that body triangle. And we'll take the back. Alright, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Flow drill going. I get the Kimura grip. I'm going to shoot my knee behind. Swing over the top. We're going to fall to the side. Just remember, guys, if you're struggling with this, I really try to like drag his elbow far across. It's going to make it easier to take the back. Okay. If his elbow's here, of course, I'm not going to get the back. So as I'm sitting to the side, I need it to be pulling him across. It shouldn't be too difficult. I can use my leg here to help. Okay. But from here, we're going to just let them out. So I'm just going to relax my leg, let Scott get out. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to keep pressure with my hand pushing into Scott's stomach. Try and roll on top, Scott. Okay. Get out. Okay, again, my hands are straight. My hands are straight and I'm pushing this way. It's flaring that elbow up. If he can't suck that elbow in, how can he get up, right? So if I let him pull that elbow in, he can roll on top. Okay. If I'm flaring that elbow out and pushing into his stomach to resist, to try and get up now, Scott, you can see he can't get over that elbow. Okay. So I'm fine here. I can't get up either like this though. Okay, so if we're both trying to get up, we're both thrashing around and nothing's going to happen. But what I can do is I can walk 180 degrees. Okay, so from here, I'll walk my feet around like this. Okay, and now I can get up, like a little army crawl. Scott, try and get up here. He still can't, but I can. Okay, I'm going to shoot my knee behind again. Turn my leg over. Take the back, and then I'm going to let him out. I'm blocking him to get 180 degrees up to my knees. Shoot behind. Over the top. Let him out. Walk 180 degrees. Up behind. And keep this going. One thing with this, guys, just when you come back up, it's hard for Scott to remove his elbow from here. If you try to walk close to side control, you'll see you're starting to give him a gap to pull that elbow through. Okay, so when I start getting up, I want to stay pretty much in north-south. Okay, like this. No, I don't want to get up and come to here and then try and do it because Scott can already feel that. He's going to freeze elbow. Okay, I want to stay with that elbow flared. Shoot through. Take it back. Let him out. Maintain the Kimura grip the whole time. And we're going to go through. Okay, 2 minutes each on that, and then we're going to do some training from the Kimura. 3, 2, 1.